Please stand for the arrival of His Excellency the Governor General and remain standing for the playing of the National Anthem. I invite the Reverend Asta Carlisle, Senior Pastor at the Webster Memorial United Church, to lead us in prayer.
Let us bend our spirits in prayer. Let us pray. Sovereign God, creator and sustainer of all that is seen and unseen, how great thou art. Before you all creation bows. In your presence angels veil their faces, and the courts of heaven stand in reverence. You are altogether lovely. In you mercy and truth meet together, and love and faithfulness embrace each other in the kiss of life. Righteousness and justice are the foundations of your throne, and from you flows sustaining grace. O God, how we thank you for our island home, Jamaica, for all that make her unique, her rhythms and rolling hills, her citizens and their creativity, her systems of governance and steadfast pursuit of the possibilities of the future. We praise you, great God, for those who frame her laws, for those who undergird her well-being with truth and justice. As these your servants are sworn into office today, grant them your divine grace to function effectively as your ambassadors. Furnish them with abundant wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that they may fitly discern between right and wrong. Grant that the weight of holy conviction rest in their bosoms, that they will never fraternize with the enemy of our souls, but that their paths will be straight and filled with light. May your righteous spirit overtake them, that the darkness of waywardness be dispelled by the brightness of truth and peace. As you pronounce your benediction upon them, O God, do the same for Jamaica. Where we have been weak, give us strength. Where we have fallen, lift us up. Where we have been dead, give us your life. Until that day, that great day, when we stand before you, our eternal judge, grant that through our giving and our living, Jamaica will increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. We pray these things through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the Governor General will now address us, after which the Governor General's Secretary will read the instruments of appointment and invite the judges to take and subscribe the oath of allegiance and the judicial oath.
Honorable Chief Justice, Mr. Brian Sykes, President of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Mr. Justice Patrick Brooks, members of the Judiciary, honorable members of the Privy Council, members of the Judicial Service Commission, Reverend Carlisle, representatives of the Bar Association of Jamaica, judges-elect, viewers joining us by the various online platforms. Good morning and welcome to King's House for this first swearing-in ceremony for the year 2022. I trust everyone had a restful, calm, and peaceful holiday, and I wish for you a bright and productive new year. I want to take this opportunity to express personally my appreciation for the work of the judiciary in so many respects, and despite the challenges that you encounter, that you stick steadfastly to the job at hand and are fiercely committed to executing your responsibilities in an exemplary way and also with dignity and fortitude. You have, in recent times, we have seen in the news some of the issues that were highlighted regarding the judiciary, some of which include the physical infrastructure in your courthouses, the debate concerning the jury system as opposed to bench trials, the timelessness of delivery of court transcripts, judicial emoluments, even though that's not so much in the public, the need for technological infrastructure in courts and in police stations to facilitate the increased online trials, and also the race to complete the backlog of judgments by March 2022. We see, Chief Justice, that it was quite a busy year, and there's little doubt that the year ahead will be any different. But we wish you well as the entire judiciary. However, we know that despite these matters of concern, the fundamental principles of the judiciary remain intact, and the judiciary will continue to discharge the responsibilities with diligence, principle, impartiality, integrity, and in good faith. I want to express my appreciation too for the diligence and the discipline of study, your attention to details, and the professionalism that you continue to display. I express my good wishes to the judges who will be appointed this morning. I have a list here. To be acting president of the Court of Appeal will be the Honorable Mrs. Marva MacDonald Bishop. I want to congratulate in a special way Justice Bishop. And I recall when you were first appointed to act in the Court of Appeal, and later you were appointed to the Court of Appeal. And the trajectory seems to continue. Now you are being asked to act as president of the Court of Appeal, and we congratulate you and wish you well, not just for this tenure, but also in the future. Acting Judges of Appeal, the Honorable Mrs. Georgiana Fraser and the Honorable Mr. Justice Kisok Lang. Congratulations on your appointment to act in the Court of Appeal. And I trust you will do well. Obviously, you're well regarded in the judiciary, your abilities and your stick-to-itiveness and what has been emerging from your service. We hope that you will continue that trend into the Court of Appeal as well. For acting puisne judge, we have Master Tanya Motolo-Reed and Her Honor Mrs. Sandra Wong Small. If I'm not mistaken, in the last term, you also acted in the Supreme Court. I trust that you will continue in that trend because obviously you have done well, and that's why you're being recommended to continue in that position. So we wish all of you all the best. You know that we depend on you to use the capacity of the office to help to fix what is wrong in Jamaica today. Your role in this process must evidently be outstanding, as together with the legislature and the executive, you form the threefold cord of governance that should not be easily broken. It is not just one arm of government that's responsible for the country's state of being and its existence. You have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, and each arm must play its part so that Jamaica is governed satisfactorily. Thank you for your service. And now we will proceed to swear in our judges today.
The Honorable Mrs. Marva Angela MacDonald Bishop. Whereas subsection 1 of section 105 of the Constitution of Jamaica provides that if the office of President of the Court of Appeal is vacant, or if the President of the Court of Appeal is, for any reason, unable to perform the functions of his office, then, until the President of the Court of Appeal has resumed those functions, or if the office is vacant, until a person has been appointed to that office and assumes its functions, they shall be performed by such other person qualified under subsection 3 of section 104 of the Constitution of Jamaica for appointment as a judge of the Court of Appeal, as the Governor General, acting in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister, may appoint for that purpose by instrument under the broad seal. And whereas the Honorable Mr. Justice Patrick Brooks, OJ, CD, President of the Court of Appeal, has been granted vacation leave with effect from the 10th day of January 2022, and whereas the Prime Minister has recommended that you, the Honorable Mrs. Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop, CD, Judge of the Court of Appeal, be appointed to act as President of the Court of Appeal in place of the Honorable Mr. Justice Patrick Brooks, OJ, CD, President of the Court of Appeal. Now, therefore, I, Patrick Linton Allen, Governor General of Jamaica, in exercise of the power conferred upon me by the Constitution of Jamaica, and acting in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister, do hereby appoint you, the said Marva Angela MacDonald Bishop, to perform the functions of the office of President of the Court of Appeal with effect from the 10th day of January 2022 and until the Honorable Mr. Justice Patrick Brooks, OJ, CD, resumes those functions. Given under my hand and the broad seal of Jamaica at King's House, this 6th day of January in the year of our Lord, 2022, and the 70th year of the reign of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. God save the Queen.
Never drop the Bible. I, Marva Angela MacDonald Bishop, do swear that I will be faithful and to bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica, so help me God. I, Marva Angela MacDonald Bishop, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution of Jamaica, and that I will administer justice to all persons alike in accordance with the laws and usages of Jamaica, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
The Honorable Mrs. Justice Georgiana Jacqueline Fraser, the Honorable Mr. Justice Kissock Christopher St. Elmo Leng. Greetings. Whereas subsection 2 of section 105 of the Constitution of Jamaica provides that acting judges of the Court of Appeal shall be appointed by the Governor General by instrument under the broad seal on the advice of the Judicial Service Commission. And whereas the Honorable Mrs. Justice Marcia Dunbar Green and the Honorable Mrs. Justice Nicole Foster Pusey have been granted vacation leave respectively, And whereas the Judicial Service Commission has advised that you, Georgiana Jacqueline Fraser, and Kisok Christopher St. Elmo Lang should be appointed to act as judges of the Court of Appeal, now therefore know ye that I, Patrick Linton Allen, Governor General of Jamaica, reposing full trust in your zeal, ability, and discretion, do hereby, in exercise of the power vested in me by the Constitution of Jamaica, appoint you, the said Georgiana Jacqueline Fraser, and Kisok Christopher St. Elmo Lang, to act as judges of the Court of Appeal for the purposes of the Constitution of Jamaica during the period from the 10th January 2022 to the 8th April 2022. Given under my hand and the broad seal of Jamaica at King's House this 6th day of January in the year of our Lord 2022, and the 70th year of the reign of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. God save the Queen.
I, Georgiana Jacqueline Fraser, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica, so help me God. I, Georgiana Jacqueline Fraser, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution of Jamaica, and that while acting in the office of Judge of the Court of Appeal, I will administer justice to all persons alike in accordance with the laws and usages of Jamaica, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
I, Kisok Christopher St. Elmo Lang, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God. Kisok Christopher St. Elmo Lang, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution of Jamaica, and that while acting in the office of Judge of the Court of Appeal, I will administer justice to all persons alike in accordance with the laws and usages of Jamaica, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
Mrs. Tanya Loy Elaine Mott Tollereed. Greetings. Whereas subsection 2 of section 99 of the Constitution of Jamaica provides that acting puisne judges shall be appointed by the Governor General by instrument under the broad seal on the advice of the Judicial Service Commission, and whereas the Honorable Mrs. Justine Caroline Ty Powell has been granted vacation leave, and whereas the Judicial Service Commission has advised that you, Tanya Loy Elaine Mott Tollereed, should be appointed to act as puisne judge. Now, therefore, know ye that I, Patrick Linton Allen, Governor General of Jamaica, reposing full trust in your zeal, ability, and discretion, do hereby, in exercise of the power vested in me by the Constitution of Jamaica, appoint you, the said Tanya Loy Elaine Mott Tollereed, to act as puisne judge for the purposes of the Constitution of Jamaica during the period from the 7th January 2022 to the 8th April 2022, given under my hand and the broad seal of Jamaica at King's House this 6th day of January in the year of our Lord 2022, and the 70th year of the reign of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. God save the Queen.
I, Tanya Loy Elaine Mott Tollereed, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica, so help me God. I, Tanya Loy Elaine Mott Tollereed, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution of Jamaica, and that while acting in the office of puisne judge, I will administer justice to all persons alike in accordance with the laws and usages of Jamaica, without fear or favor, affection or ill will, so help me God.
To Her Honor, Mrs. Sandria Elaine Wong Small, greetings. Whereas subsection 2 of section 99 of the Constitution of Jamaica provides that acting puisne judges shall be appointed by the Governor General by instrument under the broad seal on the advice of the Judicial Service Commission, and whereas a vacancy has arisen, and whereas the Judicial Service Commission has advised that you, Sandria Elaine Wong Small, should be appointed to act as puisne judge. Now, therefore, know ye that I, Patrick Linton Allen, Governor General of Jamaica, reposing full trust in your zeal, ability, and discretion, do hereby, in exercise of the power vested in me by the Constitution of Jamaica, appoint you, the said Sandria Elaine Wong Small, to act as puisne judge for the purposes of the Constitution of Jamaica, with effect from the 7th January 2022 and until further orders in a vacant post, given under my hand and the broad seal of Jamaica at King's House this 6th day of January in the year of our Lord 2022, and the 70th year of the reign of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. God save the Queen.
Judge Rongsmall takes her oath. She's unable to be in person here this morning, and so thanks to the good work of the team from JIS, we're able to have her on screen. So if you'll just turn your focus to the screen, you will see the judge taking her oath of office.
I, Sandria Elaine Wong Small, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God. I, Sandria Elaine Wong Small, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution of Jamaica, and that while acting in the office of puisne judge, I will administer justice to all persons alike in accordance with the laws and usages of Jamaica, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite the Honorable Mr. Justice Patrick Brooks, President of the Court of Appeal, to give remarks.
Thank you, Madam Master of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, the Honorable Sir Patrick Linton Allen, the Honorable Mr. Justice Brian Sykes, Chief Justice of Jamaica, my lords and ladies of the Court of Appeal and of the Supreme Court, present and viewing online, members of the Judicial Service Commission viewing online, Reverend Asta Carlyle, pastor of the Webster Memorial Church, judges who have been sworn in, present and virtually, family and friends of the newly sworn in judicial officers, both those who are present and others who are viewing this ceremony online, staff of the King's House, representatives of the Court Administration Division and the Jamaica Information Service, other members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all. Your Excellency, let me firstly, on behalf of all present, physically and virtually, wish you, your family, and the staff of King's House all the very best for New Year, and that we will all emerge from this pandemic healthy in mind and in body. We also wish to say thanks to you and to the staff of King's House for again hosting us this morning. We appreciate these functions, that they take time, that they take effort to plan and execute, and so we are grateful for those efforts. I've said it before, but it bears repeating that these ceremonies are important to help to impress on the judges being sworn in and to the public at large the dignity and importance of the posts that to which these judges are being sworn in. The We wish to also say thanks to Your Excellency for your kind wishes and words of encouragement. Let me firstly congratulate all of the judges who have been sworn in this morning and wish them well in their future endeavors. Some have acted in these posts before, and so the task will not be novel to them. For the ones who are coming to the post for the first time, there must understandably be a sense of anxiety mixed with excitement that the new challenges bring. Whether you come to the post for the first time or it is a second or third time in the post, we know that it is well deserved and that we are confident that you will do well in the post, do justice to the post, and do justice in the post. I am sure that the Chief Justice will be more expansive in respect of the judges who are sworn in to act in the Supreme Court, the Honourable Mrs. Justice Mott Tuller-Reid and the Honourable Mrs. Justice Wong Small. So I will confine my remarks to the judges who will be acting in the Court of Appeal. We welcome back the Honourable Mrs. Justice Georgiana Fraser, who acted last term as a Judge of Appeal and who proved her mettle right away. We are pleased to have her back as she has proved to be a valuable asset to the court. We also welcome for the first time the Honourable Justice Kisak Leng, who will be joining the court. We have seen the quality of his judgments in the Supreme Court, and we are confident that he will fit right in at the Court of Appeal. Your Excellency, Justice Leng comes to the court with an expansive body of experience. He previously served in the public service as a clerk of courts, as a Crown Counsel, both at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and at the Attorney General's chambers. He has practiced at the private bar in the British Virgin Islands, and he has been a resident magistrate back in the day when that office was so known and before it became a parish court judge. Justice Leng has a master's degree in information technology and telecommunications law, and so he is well fitted for the new era of telecommunication that the court and the world has had to be living in since the start of the pandemic. His special training will also be beneficial to guiding in the digitization of the court that is just being undertaken. We congratulate him and we welcome him. Your Excellency, we wish to make it clear that the fact that a judge is not reappointed to act as a Judge of Appeal is not necessarily an indication of dissatisfaction with that person's performance. But as Judges of Appeal go on vacation leave, there is an opportunity to expose other judges of the Supreme Court to the Court of Appeal and the work that that court does. Most judges enjoy the opportunity to see what other Supreme Court judges do and to learn from the experience. Your Excellency, I have saved my last congratulations for my friend and colleague, the Honourable Mrs. Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop, a member of the Order of Distinction Commander Class, who will act as President in the Court for the Hillary term. It is truly a pleasure for me to see her so preferred. Justice MacDonald Bishop's proven ability and her interest in the court and her desire to see it do well are indicators that there is no person better qualified to act in the post at this time. She has an enviable academic record, having achieved a Bachelor of Arts degree with first-class honors and a Bachelor of Laws degree with first-class honors. She performed at every level of the court system since the start of her career, and her experience has honed her into a first-class jurist who not only is knowledgeable in the law and the practice of the law, but is superbly articulate. The latter talent, Your Excellency, is put to good use as a lay preacher in the Baptist Church. Justice MacDonald Bishop was sworn in as a judge of the court in 2015, and since that time, she has demonstrated a level of compassion and humanity that helps to undergird the excellent relations that we have in the court at every level. Members of staff have found her to be a willing listener and an empathetic heir who, even more importantly, has the ability to get things done. She will bring all these qualities, Your Excellency, to the post, and I am confident that she will have the support of the members of the court at all levels as she performs the duties in the post of President. Your Excellency, I cannot close without expressing my continued appreciation for the team at the Court of Appeal. These folks, Your Excellency, are always performing above and beyond the call of duty. We embarked this week on a new chapter in the life of the court. We have this week started using the electronic judicial case management system, which we call the JCMS, and it will allow for the digitizing of the court. It will allow for, among other things, electronic record keeping, the e-filing of documents by the public and attorneys at law, and for the preparation of electronic bundles for judges. There is, of course, a learning curve to be overcome, but the willingness and the can-do attitude of the members of the court will see that learning curve conquered, and our external stakeholders will undoubtedly be the beneficiaries. Your Excellency, thank you very much. Honorable Chief Justice, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Happy New Year once again, and all the very best to all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice, the Honorable Mr. Justice Brian Sykes, will now give remarks.
Your Excellency, Honorable Sir Patrick Allen, Governor General of Jamaica, the Honorable Mr. Justice Patrick Brooks, President of the Court of Appeal, judges of the Court of Appeal, judges of the Supreme Court, former judges of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal, and former presidents of the Court of Appeal, Chief Judge of the Parish Court, judges of the Parish Courts, Reverend Asta Carlisle, the judges who were sworn in this morning, family members, members of the media, and those of us who are in person here and online, good morning and a pleasant New Year to all of you. It is with pleasure that I stand here this morning to share with you what has been happening in the judiciary for the past year and where we are going. In addition to that, it gives me great pleasure to extend my heartiest congratulations to all the judges who were sworn in this morning. And if I may be forgiven to make very personal references here to the Honorable Mrs. Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop, who I met in 1986 when she arrived quite literally as a young girl from the country, from Retreat St. Mary, where she began her career in the legal system, where she was a temporary clerk there and was appointed ultimately in 1988. She was appointed a deputy clerk of court, then went on to read for the Bachelor of Laws degree, which you heard from the President of the Court of Appeal, was successfully completed, the first class honors, and came to the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions as a prosecutor, then began her judicial career as a resident magistrate, as the post was then known. And during all of that, Your Excellency, 3 children, and Mr. Bishop, her husband, and all of that she accomplished while pursuing excellence both as a lawyer and as a judicial officer. And you have heard that she has distinguished herself in the Court of Appeal. But I should also add that she's also a judge of the Commonwealth Arbitral Tribunal for the Commonwealth Secretariat, and has been so for the past 3 years. Now, Mrs. Justice MacDonald Bishop, Your Excellency, is a true embodiment of ecumenism. She attended a Catholic school and is a member of the Anglican Church, but is also a lay preacher in the Baptist Church. So we welcome her to and congratulate her on her elevation to act as the President of the Court, and you heard of her qualities from the President, which I have experienced personally and can speak to firsthand. And we wish to assure her that she will have the support of the Office of the Chief Justice during her tenure as President of the Court. With Justice Georgiana Fraser, hard worker, cooperative, and of course, distinguished herself both as a lawyer and as a judge at the various levels, and has served admirably in the Court of Appeal. And so what we're endeavoring to do, Your Excellency, is to have a cadre of judges from the Supreme Court who are exposed to the functioning and workings of the Court of Appeal, so that they can enrich the quality of work that is done in the Court of Appeal, in the Supreme Court, when they return to us to share with us what it is that they have learned there. An important point that the President made was that they're now presented with the opportunity of seeing the work of the courts, of the Supreme Court, from a global point of view. With Mr. Justice Kisak Leng, very experienced lawyer and judicial officer, wish to congratulate him on his appointment now to act as a judge of appeal. He has been in the commercial court, where he has served with distinction there, and is one of the judges contributing to the growing reputation of that division of the Supreme Court. Now, Mrs. Mott Reed, she's a master of the Supreme Court, and she came to us from the law school and also from private practice. And by all accounts, she has served admirably for the times that she has acted as a judge of the Supreme Court. And Mrs. Sandra Wong Small, who has been and still is a senior judge down in St. James. We know of her quality both as a leader of the court down there, one of the best performing courts in the island, and also as a judicial officer. And she too has served with distinction during the time that she has acted as a judge of the Supreme Court. Now, 2021 has been a challenging time, continuing the challenge posed by the coronavirus, COVID-19, you choose your name. Various strains have come upon us, and yet the court system remains resilient in the face of all of this. And so it is important to note that in the parish courts, they have recovered magnificently, I would think, so much so that as far as the criminal cases are concerned, we are now at the point where 94% of those cases are disposed of in under 24 months. And so what that means, Your Excellency, if that continues, the parish courts on the criminal side are on course to become backlog-free within the 6-year target that was set. The same thing can be said too on the civil side of the parish courts, where 90% of the cases there have been disposed of in under 24 months. And if that trend continues, the parish courts on the civil side will be backlog-free in the 6-year period or less that we have set ourselves. The family courts, we're now beginning to get reliable data from there, and what is now known is that 91% of the cases there are disposed of in under 24 months. And so, in essence, what we are saying then is that the performance of the parish courts is such that we will be backlog-free, assuming the trends continue in 6 years or less. And so that will become a historic day in the life of our country. Now, we do not have the figures now from the Court of Appeal. One of the reasons for that is the transition that is now taking place, that began on Monday, where the court is transitioning now to the JCMS, and that transition has occurred in other courts. And so by the end of 2022, it is expected that all the courts, including the Supreme Court, will be on the JCMS, and that will now become the backbone of the legal system. And as time goes on and other features are developed, we'll be moving more and more into the desire to become a paperless court system. So those are some of the developments that have taken place within the judiciary over the past few months. As far as the Supreme Court is concerned, the gun court, we have said before, is now backlog-free, and being backlog-free doesn't mean that we don't have any cases older than 2 years. What it means is that the net backlog now, that is when you're dealing with active cases, is under 5%, and that is consistent with international standards. And our gross backlog is under 10%. So too for the revenue courts. So those two courts are actually operating at international standards as we speak. The commercial court continues to do well, so too the probate division and the estate division. Where we have the greatest challenge is with the HCV, and so we have a number of initiatives that we have implemented which should begin to produce results sometime around June of 2022. So we have 3 judges dealing with the assessment and simple negligence cases. We have 2 judges dealing exclusively with the matters arising in probate and matrimonial matters, and the expectation is that that will now free the judges, other judges, to concentrate on the other civil matters. And we have also completed, 66 and 2/3%, because we have 3-hour sessions with our colleagues from other islands dealing with case management, effective case management, and we have done 2 of those sessions, and the final one is coming up either in January or February of this year. And what that essentially is doing is to strengthen the skills of the judges in the Supreme Court, so we can have more effective case management and timely disposition of cases. So I think that the goal that we had set ourselves of becoming one of the best in the world is 6 years, is still within reach, despite the difficulties posed by COVID, and that has come about because of the hard work put in by the judges, by our various stakeholders, the attorneys, police officers, the Department of Corrections, CAD, and all the other entities that are essential for the proper functioning of the courts. So as we make the transition now from being an exclusively paper-based system to an electronic system, the expectation is that we will have greater efficiency and reliability in terms of the management of the cases. And so that is how we still think that we will achieve our goal of being one of the most efficient courts in 6 years. So I wish to express my gratitude to Your Excellency and the staff of King's House for accommodating us this morning, to JIS, our ever-present and constant companion in these matters, the ICT department in CAD, to enabling the broadcast of this very important ceremony to remind ourselves, as the President has said, of the importance of the judiciary and the rule of law, and to remind persons that our democracy is alive and well. The three arms of government, independent but working cooperatively, to use His Excellency's language, three strands of the cord to strengthen our democracy. So I thank you, Your Excellency, for your accommodation this morning, and I close by extending once again my congratulations to the judges who have been sworn in this morning. Thank you very much.
I now invite the Honorable Mrs. Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop to respond on behalf of all the judges who have been sworn.
Your Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Patrick Linton Allen, may I be permitted to adopt all the protocols already established, as well as the salutations extended to all persons here and online in the interest of time. Good morning, everyone. In July 1995, I was a law student at the Norman Manley Law School and was placed at the Court of Appeal on my in-service training to work as a judicial clerk. I met Justice Boyd Carey of blessed memory and one of our most outstanding jurists. And when I was leaving the Court of Appeal, he wrote in a book to me, and I quote, "The law is for serious people. It is a jealous being. But you have the necessary qualities: a desire for excellence, a talent for hard work, an inquiring mind, and stamina. All these characteristics you have in large measure." End of quote. In November 1999, I was a Crown Counsel in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. And one of my deputy directors, upon completing some presentations we did together, gave me a book which was about the Right Honorable Sir Norman Manley, who is described in that book as a legal lion. And in that book, the Deputy Director of Public Prosecution wrote these words, and I quote, "To Marva MacDonald Bishop, a woman who, like the subject of this book, whose standard is excellence, who is committed to the motto, excellence is a habit, not an act." End of quote. That Deputy Director, Your Excellency, was none other than the Honorable Justice Brian Sykes, who is now the Chief Justice of Jamaica. Your Excellency, the force of these words, genuinely given genuinely out of a place of trust and confidence in my abilities, has propelled me to the dizzying height of my judicial career that is symbolized by this special event today. I carried around the faith of my seniors in my ability for years with the lingering thought never to prove them wrong. Little did Justice Carey and the Deputy Director, Brian Sykes, knew then that they gave those words to me at a time, despite what might have seemed to be many to be commendable achievements on my part, I still suffered self-doubt, low self-esteem as a young girl from deep rural Bamboo Walk Retreat, St. Mary. Little did they know that what they might have perceived as simple words of commendation would have had a lasting impact on my professional life. It is against that background that I stand here this morning almost teary-eyed and with a balanced mix of humility and a little pride to accept the appointment to act as President of the Court of Appeal of Jamaica. I'm overwhelmed by the decision of those who consider it fitting to take a chance on me. In this regard, I thank my President, Justice Brooks, who is my friend and mentor, the Honorable Prime Minister for acting on his recommendation, and you, His Excellency, above everyone else, for accepting those recommendations. I do not take the appointment lightly. But it is not at all about me, Your Excellency, and I crave your leave to personally acknowledge my fellow appointees, on whose behalf I also will be speaking this morning. They equally deserve our salutations and sincere commendations, and I can safely say, I think, that the Judicial Service Commission got it right in selecting them for their respective offices. I can safely say also, without fear of any contradiction, that the words I've read at the commencement of my remarks from two of Jamaica's eminent jurists would aptly apply to each of them, because these are judges of integrity, the highest integrity, of stamina, and with a talent for hard work. They too sees excellence not as an act, but as a habit. Please allow me to extend my heartiest congratulations to them and to wish them all a productive and successful stint in their respective positions. But I must single out for special mention Justices Fraser and Lang. Justice Lang will be making his debut at the Court of Appeal, and I'm looking forward to working with both of them, and I have no doubt that they will continue to do well. So, Your Excellency, please permit me now, on behalf of my colleagues and myself, to express to you, Lady Allen, and the staff of King's House, our heartfelt gratitude for your gracious and warm hospitality and your usual stately conduct of these proceedings. I'm happy that you do have your eyes on the judiciary. You have recognized our work and you have recognized our worth, and you're also mindful of the various issues that confront us. And we are happy for that you have paid attention to us. Your inspiring words and encouragement is a timely reminder to us that we must continue in the fight, and we'll take them as music to our ears when we carry on our tasks that lie ahead. The Honorable Chief Justice and President Brooks, on behalf of my colleagues and myself, I thank you for your generous introductions and kind and encouraging remarks. I must say on my part that they were more head-swelling than anything else. We're all deeply touched and proudly inspired by you both with your transformative leadership and the sincerity of your congratulatory messages and good wishes. We are conscious of the mammoth task that lies ahead in dealing with the myriads of issues that have crippled the justice system at this time. But despite the challenges, we pledge our continued support and commitment to partnering with you both on your mission to bring about fundamental and effective changes in the administration of justice and in the image and reputation of the judiciary. We thank you both for your excellent leadership. To Pastor Carlyle, we thank you for invoking God's presence here this morning. And I must say, so powerful your words of prayer were, that the devil stood up and caused the Bible to fall from my hand and almost to fall from Justice Fraser's hand. But we can say that with all conviction that he's defeated, and we will continue. We thank God for you, and we bless you all. Bless you as you continue to labor in the vineyard. Your Excellency, our accomplishments have not resulted from anything that we each did alone. Many persons deserve to be sworn in with us because of their invaluable contribution to our lives. We acknowledge the constant support of our colleagues, past and present, our support staff who have propped us up and on whose shoulders we stand daily to get the job done more competently, efficiently, safely, and effectively. They have contributed immensely to where we are today, and I know they will continue to support us in our respective roles. Your Excellency, we have reserved the most enormous thank you for our families, in particular our parents, our spouses, children, siblings, and extended families. Allow me, please, to just single out, especially my own spouse, Keith Bishop, and I think I should, Justice Fraser's spouse, Mr. Fraser, because these two men were there with us when we were students at the university pursuing law. In fact, Mr. Bishop was my study partner, coach, and fitness trainer, and I recall so close we were that the examiner on the revenue paper in 1994 exam paper put a problem question there saying Keith working with Marvel. So up to today, he was my chauffeur, and I thank him for the rock solid support he has given me as my classmate, friend, confidant, and partner for life. Mr. Fraser shares the same position, and I'm sure all the other spouses who are here this morning. It is our family who saw the darkest side and most vulnerable moments in our lives. We will be forever indebted to them for their selflessness, personal sacrifice, understanding, never failing love, and support. To all our friends and well-wishers, too numerous to mention, but who are all equally remarkable, we say thanks for being there for us always. We owe this particular moment in our lives to all of you, and we can only ask that you all continue to love us, support us, encourage us, and comfort us when the road gets rough, as it often does. Just continue to be our tower of strength. Your Excellency, allow me to say before closing that it is starkly evident that we are being called upon to perform our respective roles in the administration of justice in the face of unprecedented challenges. While the need to reduce the backlog of cases and reserve judgments is acknowledged and is undoubtedly pressing, we cannot commit to embark on a course of conduct that will jeopardize our health and well-being. I know that my Chief Justice has stressed the statistics and the performance of the courts. I am not here to do that. I do not think we can ask the judges and the staff in the judicial system to work any harder. I think we can only ask them to work much smarter and safely. So this morning, the pandemic has driven home to us the frailties of life and the fragility of man. We have lost colleagues, spouses of colleagues, and former colleagues, and relatives and friends to this pandemic. This morning I stand here missing a friend of mine who started with me at the Halfway Tree Court and would have celebrated this moment with me, Mr. Nigel Morgan. And Mr. Stanley Clark, His Honor, Mr. Stanley Clark, was my classmate at the St. Mary High School. Mr. Horace Mitchell was my clerk at the Manchester Parish Court. And so this morning I stand here missing them because of their untimely passing. And I feel that we must highlight the necessity to be safe as we conduct the work for the people of Jamaica. We must accept, Your Excellency, that mental health challenges that once upon a time were kept in the highest secret places are now brought to the fore with the pandemic. Unfortunately, judges and their staff are not immune from this scourge. As much as people seem to think that judges are not human, we are news. We bleed when we cut. We cry when we hurt. Sometimes even when we're happy. We feel pain. We suffer heartaches. We experience familial problems, financial problems, anxiety, and depression. We suffer from insecurities and, not least of all, physical infirmities like everyone else. Yet, notwithstanding our own limitations and inadequacies, we are expected to continually rise on a daily basis to the occasion to make important decisions to sort out the lives of everyone in this country. I recall a gentleman wrote once, "Why should the judges be calling for more salary? That should be for the garbage collector." And I laughed to myself and I said, he doesn't realize that the garbage collector takes the garbage and puts at a spot, the landfill. The judiciary is the landfill of this country. We bear every garbage collected out there, but yet we are expected to be stress-free. So, Your Excellency, I don't wish to be long in my usual style, but international organizations such as the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, with which we work very closely in the judiciary, and judicial leaders in every right-thinking society have increasingly recognized the inextricable link between judicial wellness and access to justice. So a significant area of focus for the short time I will act as the President of the Court of Appeal will be to initiate and strengthen initiatives undertaken by the Jamaican judiciary in our strategic plan geared at addressing judicial well-being and resiliency. So I will be working with the Health and Safety Subcommittee of the Strategic Planning Committee of the Court of Appeal to devise and implement initiatives geared at helping to alleviate or reduce job-related stressors and strengthening resiliency. It is my fervent hope that we'll be able to identify a secure and convenient space on the court building that we can retrofit to create an oasis in the judicial desert. This is intended to be a space to which judges and their staff can retreat to attend to the needs of their mind, body, and soul so that we can better serve the public that depends on us to be fit, healthy, and above all, sane. Attending to the mental health needs of our judges and staff, therefore, especially at this time in the raging pandemic, must be accorded the utmost priority as recognized the world over. So as I end, Your Excellency, it is with cautious optimism, tinged with a slight stirring of excitement, that I will now proceed to do that which is expected of me, to perform with excellence in continuing the transformative thrust of the incumbent president and former presidents of the Court of Appeal. I go assured of the strong foundation laid for me by them. I salute those still alive to hear these expressions of gratitude: retired presidents, Justices Ian Fort, Seymour Panton, Dennis Morrison. I also separate the 2 female judges of appeal for earnest salutation who have acted as presidents of the court in its long history, Justices Hazel Harris and Hilary Phillips. Today I stand as the 3rd female to occupy that position. In fact, Justice Hilary incidentally served in the Hillary term, as I will be doing, and I hope my appointment in this term is a positive sign that I will replicate even half of her success. Finally, but by no means least, although not a president of the Court of Appeal, I must single out from the flock retired Chief Justice Zayla McCallum, who has taken the enviable place as the first female leader of the judiciary. I thank these women for paving the way and to establish that, yes, as women, we can assume leadership in the Jamaican judiciary. My appointed colleagues and I shall stand on the shoulders of all who have gone before us to ensure the creation and maintenance of a world-class judiciary in which public trust and confidence are guaranteed. Your Excellency, now as we prepare to leave your distinguished company, basking in the excitement of our most recent achievements and looking with measured optimism at the future, we must acknowledge that our accomplishments are not at all of our own doing. It is truly by God's grace and mercy that we have reached this far. And it is only by this continued goodness and mercy towards us that we will remain healthy and alive, safe and wise to go further. We must therefore say thanks to God, and to Him be the honor, the glory, and the praise. May He, the God of light, grace, love, and mercy, remain and abide with you all and your families in 2022 and beyond. May it please Your Excellency. May it please you all. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this function. I invite all judges who have been sworn in to remain seated for instructions regarding the taking of photographs. On behalf of His Excellency, the Governor General, I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending this very important ceremony as a mark of your support for the judges who have been sworn in and of your respect for our judiciary. Thank you.